Good afternoon, good fellas. I'm Samuel Castillo. I'll be your host tonight, and as I always do. And in today's episode of our Tintica with Samuel, we're going to talk about transport in the city of Bogota. Don't confuse it, mates. Bogota, Colombia, alright? So, we're going to talk about a bit of transportation. I know it's a really important mean. To go to one place to another, you need to transport by walking or in bicycles, scooter, cars. I mean, look at this Fiat, this mini tiny Fiat. You can even transport in this shit. But look at these. These are my cars. These are my collection. And within my collection, I have a Formula One. As you can see, it's a Mercedes. I mean, go Hamilton, yeah. All right. So. In recent discussions of public transportation, a controversial issue has been whether working class people deserve and should have convenient transportation in order to go to work in rich and exclusive neighborhoods. So, let's imagine that you wake up at 3 a.m., organize lunch and breakfast for your kids, if you have, alright? If you're single, it's okay, alright? Walk to a bus stop, take more than one bus, then transfer to Transmilenio, and later another bus so that you can arrive to the start of a 30-minute walk uphill. And all of this in order to arrive to work. Well, all this long and exhausting commute is normal for most of the house workers in one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in Bogota, Rosales. This worker that normally goes up tells us how even after 20 years she has worked there. And through injury and pain, she still needs to go up. And sometimes even with many groceries in her hands. So, please, let's move on.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Can I ask you some questions?
Can you wait a minute? I need to catch some air.
Sure, I'll give you a sec. Alright, I just wanted to ask you about why are you walking this early in the morning through this neighborhood?
I'm walking so early in the morning because I work here. I work over there.
Alright, do you always come up walking?
Yes, all the time, always for work. Every day, every week, I have to walk up all of this road to get to work.
And how much is the walk? Like 1 hour, 30 minutes?
It depends. At the beginning, because we are not used to it, it can take like an hour, but now it takes like 30 minutes. Yes, like
store?
1 time or 2 times a week, I go down. Down there is an Olympica, and I go down, I buy things, and I need to carry all the things up there. Because Maria, the one that I work for, she doesn't like to go for groceries, so she always sends me.
On one hand, some argue, and like the really shitty people argue, that the implementation of convenient transportation for the working class would be an inconvenience for the people that live in these neighborhoods, alright? Think about it. These proper homeowners, not very kind though, really shitty, are being interviewed for some local news, and when asked about the controversial topic of public transportation in the neighborhood, their reactions tell everything. Let's see it.
Good afternoon to both. How have you been? It is okay with you both. I would like to ask you some questions about the public transportation in Bogota, but more specifically in this neighborhood. But please answer the question.
Don't be rude, like let's hear it, but like make it fast.
Sure, it only will take a minute. What do you think about the implementation of public transportation in this neighborhood? Do you think it's necessary?
Like one question at a time, please. Okay, I think public transportation should not be implemented. Like, why would we need it? It's not like...
It will increase the criminality, alright?
But what do you think about all these people that have to get early in the morning and walk to get to work?
Like, what are you implying? Like, the people that work for us, that we can pay for? Like, we pay
a
really
lot.
good.
Yeah.
Like, they get here super happy. Like, the exercise is glowing out of their faces. Like, it's wonderful.
And if public transport just gets here, then the image will be ruined. And the exclusivity also, so it
Like,
doesn't
the
make sense.
exclusivity. Like, if we live here, it's because we can. And it's not because we want like a Transmilenio over here. We don't want that. Because I like it'd be counterproductive, you know? Yes. Like I don't understand your questions. Like, people that get here, like every one of us needs to come here. Like it's a really long like commute. We go by car, yes, but it's really hard.
Will that be it?
Yeah.
Alright, people of the brave new world. You know, mates, from this perspective, public transportation implicates an increasing criminality rate inside the neighborhood, the Rosales. And safety is apparently, really important for these people. What will they do? I mean, just put this case on your mind. What will they do if the Porsche gets stolen, or even the Pomeranian, the fucking Pomeranian dog? You know what I mean? It's a fucking pooping dog. Also, in other situations, all this idea of transportation and buses going around is an attack on the exclusivity of the place. I mean, like, as if they were Parisians. Am I right? As for the words of one of the owners herself, that fucking cunt, I'm sorry. The aesthetic is really important for them and the neighborhood, and having buses with poor people coming in and out will ruin all the image. So let's see the fucking the lady.
And like look, everyone comes here like bar. Like it's so beautiful. Oh, here's like my mate. Her name is Alicia. Like I like we're talking about you, and she's like getting our groceries. We get really good food only. Like down the Olympica. She comes here walking, like it's really good for exercise, right? Really
Yes,
good.
it's good for exercise.
Like she loves it. She's been working for me like 20 years now.
Yes, I've been working here 20 years.
And nothing has changed. She's already like used to it. Like look, she has better physique like me. Like you have better physique like me, don't you?
Yeah, thank
You know that. Yeah. So everything here is beautiful. Like you can talk to my husband, and you know, like having a lot of workers coming in and by bus, a lot of like buses going and going out, like it would ruins the aesthetic of the neighborhood. Like here everything is about aesthetics.
So, you know, the aesthetic, right? So fucking lame. On the other hand, however, others argue that the people working in these neighborhoods are expected every day to walk long uphill distances, and not implementing public methods of transportation perpetuates the idea of inequality and social gaps. Yeah, really big social gaps. In the words of Bogota's mayor, Claudia Lopez, one of this view's main proponents. Let's just see her for a while, alright?
Hello, I'm Claudia Lopez, your mayor, and I'm here in one of the supposedly best neighborhoods of Bogota, Rosales. Rosales is said to be one of the best neighborhoods in Bogota where all the people, of the rich people live. But I think that Rosales is a golden cage. Do you hear me well? A golden cage. If all the places in Bogota were like Rosales, the place would be horrible, because Rosales is a really bad place where the people have to walk early in the morning, 1 hour or 30 minutes to arrive to their places where they work, to their houses and their buildings where they have to be working all day, and then they have to get really late to their houses and they have to walk back because they don't want to public transportation. I think that Rosales needs public transportation for the people that get really early in the morning, that wake up at 3 a.m. and have to walk 1 hour or half an hour to arrive to these places. Rosales is a place that needs public transportation because it is a golden cage. It's a place that needs to be changed, and rich people need to start thinking more and empathize with the other people that are working in their houses. We cannot continue to have places in Bogota like Rosales.
Wow, that was really powerful and very strong, and maybe a crazy woman. Am I right? But with a point, you know, a really good point. But let's go back to the first interview where we were able to hear the opinion of a working person inside this neighborhood around Claudia Lopez's extreme claims of Rosales being a privilege-filled golden cage. All right?
Yes, I agree with the implementation of public transportation because it is really hard for all the people that work here to get really early in the morning because I wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and to need to walk like 30 minutes or 1 hour. There was one time that I was injured and it took me like almost 2 hours to walk here, and I talked with Maria, the one that I work for, and she didn't care. She told me that I needed to walk. So I think it's really good to implement public transportation. It will help lots of people.
Alright, so we already said that this is a problem, evidently. Like, how could she still walk that horrible hill being injured? I mean, just imagine. In what world can that neighborhood exist? I mean, with that kind of people? And although some might object that they are already being paid for their transportation expenses and that they get to work happily and refreshed for the exercise, I mean, isn't that a bit contradictory? Let's see if they can do it, if the people in Rosales can walk up that hill.
I don't get why people nag so much by walking up like this neighborhood, Rosales. It's really easy. I mean, I don't know why people like search for easy things. I mean, life's not easy, right? I mean, and if it's that hard, then they should like get a apartment here, literally. I mean, even my dog doesn't complain about walking up the hill. They're such complainers.
I think it's fucking dog shit. How can you even compare a dog, like dog problems, to a human problem? I know humans sometimes can be like animals, I know it, but not to the point we compare to dogs. I think we could all reply that it is very condescending and privileged to diminish the problematic and invalidate it, by saying that it isn't really that serious because no worker has complained, or it doesn't affect that much, or is not that hard. Like, we get that there are people with a lot of money and everything, but why be so oblivious? Let's look at this other interview for a sec.
Beautiful view. Like, you see, like, because it's like a really hill, you can see from up above and everything. Like, we can go up this hill. It's really wonderful. What do you think like it's the best here? Like, my husband, he goes to work every day and it's like really near. Like, his friends all live here. It's like a really small community. It's so wonderful.
So wonderful.
Do you ever walk through this place or always by car?
Most by car. However, this is an exception. We're walking. Okay.
But do you really think it's fair that apart from all the hard work that the workers do in your house, they need to go all the way up and all the way down every day?
Like, I mean, like, it's like you're saying that we do not pay them. Like, we pay them for transportation. Like, they could buy a taxi and just get here. Like, if they
It's
get
not
so
a big
tired.
problem for the raise we give them.
Yes, and sorry, is that I'm really out of breath, but like, they should be fine. Like, they shouldn't be nagging so much around. Like, they should be thankful that they get to come here like every day, like see so beautiful things.
Yeah, they shouldn't complain about public transport in here.
Like,
Besides,
yeah.
it would be a really, really big problem.
Like, we're really like a good people here. We just want to do God's work.
The employees
really.
don't get tired. They're always getting here happy. I don't see what's the problem. There's no need for public transportation. Can you imagine?
I think it's a very like leftist idea that you all have. Like, I don't know. Like, how did they get how did you get it? Like the guards didn't they or something?
It is really clear that those people have not walked that hill, not even a time in their whole entire life. I mean, look at them in their fancy little cars. Am I right? They really climb up that hill? I don't think so. But obliviously, it is so easy when they go by car, you know? Adding to that, it can't be denied that some transportation costs are taken into account. the ability to take another extra cost on a taxi for going up the hill in most cases is not present or possible. I mean, just dimension it, just put it in those. I mean, the basic cost of a taxi in Bogota, as for today, is 3,100 pesos. I don't know how much that is, but yeah, certainly. Now, multiply that by 2 per day and would leave up to a cost that in most Colombian families changes the perspective and allowances in expending necessities. It's not so simple as taking a taxi or not. It's really a dilemma. And also, it is not so simple as just making the SITP go up the hill or not. At the end, some people are just complete assholes and there is nothing to do about it. Well, don't get me wrong, it is okay to feel fear, and especially in a violent city such as Bogota. But maybe let's try not to let us be guided by that feeling and lose of our empathy, alright? So stay safe and see you next time. Thank you so much.